The words remained on the screen for only a second. Then they vanished. The route map returned as if nothing had happened. I stood frozen. I knew I should have looked away. But every instinct I had told me to turn around. Slowly, I looked toward the old man. He hadn't moved. Not even an inch. His head was still lowered. His hands still rested on the cane. I let out a shaky breath. Maybe the message wasn't about him. Maybe it was another passenger. Maybe someone outside. Then, the tapping stopped. Complete silence filled the train. Not the comforting silence of an empty carriage, the kind that makes your ears ring. Without realizing it, I looked at the reflection in the window. My own face stared back at me. Pale. Exhausted. Behind me, the old man was standing. My heart stopped. I spun around. The seat was empty. The old man was gone. For a moment, I couldn't think. I searched the entire car. Nothing. No one. The doors between the cars remained closed. There was nowhere he could have gone. Then I heard it. Right behind me, a quiet voice, barely louder than breathing. You looked. I turned so fast, I nearly lost my balance. No one. Only empty seats stretching in both directions. My pulse hammered in my ears. Every instinct screamed at me to get off the train. The overhead display finally showed my station. Riverside. The train slowed. This time, the platform wasn't empty. There were people. Relief washed over me. Maybe 20 or 30 commuters waited outside. Some stood with backpacks. Others looked down at their phones. Finally, normal people. Normal life. The train stopped. The doors slid open. I stepped toward them and froze. Not a single person moved. None of them boarded. None of them even looked at the train. They simply stood there, perfectly still, like statues. One woman held a coffee cup halfway to her mouth. A teenager stood with headphones on. A businessman carried a briefcase. Every one of them motionless, not blinking, not breathing. The station clock read the same time my phone had frozen. Something wasn't right. The doors remained open. No announcement came. No warning beep. Just silence. Then, every person on the platform slowly turned their heads toward me at exactly the same speed. Their bodies never moved. Only their heads. Dozens of faces. Watching me. I stumbled backward. The doors immediately slammed shut. The train pulled away. No announcement. No warning. Just acceleration. I collapsed into a seat, unable to stop shaking. What is happening? My voice sounded tiny inside the empty carriage. The speaker crackled. This time the voice was clear. An elderly woman. Calm. Almost gentle. If you hear this, do not leave the train. I stared at the speaker. If the doors open, do not leave. Then, if you already looked, I'm sorry. The lights flickered again. Once. Twice. Then darkness. This time, it lasted almost 10 seconds. When the lights returned, every seat in the train was occupied. Men, women, children, at least 50 people, all wearing clothes from different decades. Some looked modern. Others wore fashions I recognized only from old photographs. A soldier, a nurse, a little girl holding a stuffed rabbit. Every one of them sat perfectly still. None looked at me, except the old man. He now sat directly across from me. His face remained hidden beneath the brim of his hat. For the first time, he spoke. His voice sounded dry, like paper being torn. Next stop, a long pause. Yours. The train began slowing again. Outside, there was no station, only endless darkness. The brakes screamed. The doors opened anyway. Beyond them, there was nothing. No platform. No tracks. Just blackness. The old man stood. One by one, every other passenger stood with him. No one hurried. No one spoke. They simply walked through the open doors and disappeared into the darkness. None of them fell. None of them hesitated. They walked as though solid ground existed where I could see only emptiness. The old man stopped in the doorway. Without turning around, he said one final sentence. "You weren't supposed to see us." Then he stepped into the darkness. The doors closed. The train lurched forward. Seconds later, my phone buzzed. Full signal. The time read 5:48 a.m. Nearly 4 hours had vanished. The overhead display showed the correct route again. Passengers filled the carriage. People chatted, read newspapers, drank coffee. No one looked frightened. No one seemed to notice anything unusual. I stumbled off at the very next station. The morning sunlight felt unreal. I called my supervisor. He sounded annoyed. "Where the hell are you?" I told him I had been on the train. There was a long silence. Then he laughed. "Dude, the northbound local doesn't run after the storm." What? It was canceled last night. I thought he was joking. I wrote it. "No, you didn't." He paused. "The last train left before midnight." I hung up. Later that day, I visited Central Station. I asked the ticket agent if there had been another train. She checked the schedule, then shook her head. There wasn't one. I explained everything. Platform 6. The 3-car train. The old man. She became strangely quiet. Then she asked me something I still think about. "Did anyone tell you not to look?" I felt the blood drain from my face. Before I could answer, she quietly closed the timetable. There used to be an accident on that line. Many years ago. A train stopped where it never should have. She refused to say anything else. I never found another employee willing to discuss it. To this day, I still take trains. Just never the last one. And every now and then, when a train pulls away from the platform late at night, I catch a glimpse of an old man standing at the far end, perfectly still, watching, waiting, as if he's counting to see who will be the last passenger.